Rachel, I'm 30 now. So it's a good time to look back. Yeah, if any time the popping has been relevant, it's now. Yeah.
Hung out with my parents all weekend. Every time I was like, stop that.
And it also my second favorite film. Very high.
Second favorite decade.
I've never thought about ranking decades. My second favorite film, very close second, is from the year 1995. So I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the year 1995 in film. Also touch a little bit on Star Wars and Transformers. There's not a lot, there's a little bit. And just look at where things were when I came into this world in this medium that I love so much we know as film.
We should also look at like political events that happened in 1995.
I wish. Oh, do you know what? I think that was the year of the Oklahoma City bombing.
Star Wars, Transformers, Godzilla, animation, whatever else. Rebels, robots, and etc.
So I am as old as the PlayStation, as Netscape, and O.J. Simpson being found not guilty of a crime he clearly did.
O.J. Simpson's Joyride.
Oh no! I don't know when that actually was. I don't think that was in '95.
Google away.
I think we can let that be because it's Starformers Mation Night. Welcome to Rebels and Robots and etc. Episode 88. I'm Cameron.
I'm Rachel. That's actually how old Cameron is.
That math doesn't check out. This is our bi-weekly chat about Star Wars and
Transformers.
And what else we want to talk about. Well, today it's mostly what Cameron wants to talk about.
And today it's another very special episode. It's a birthday boy episode.
It is a birthday boy episode. I'm 30. I've been 30 for a week now. A week as of today.
Doxed. Personal information on the internet.
That's true. But we'll release this episode on a different day than we record, so it doesn't technically tell you what my birthday is exactly. But regardless, today we had Rachel's birthday episode. We talked about Shin Godzilla, which firmly falls into our topic of interest for this podcast, Godzilla. My number one film, the origin of this, and I did mention this on a previous episode, but I'm still keeping it mysterious because I cut it out of the last episode when I did say
Censored.
it. Keeping it a little bit of a mystery. It is an animated film. I will say that. That is why I feel like it falls into podcast content. But just to expand it out a little bit, we'll look at the year 1995 in film because I think it's interesting. It's also just an excuse to justify the fact that I've ranked every movie I've seen by year going back to 1992, I think. So it's
I thought you were born in 95.
What I'm saying, though, is I have a list of every film I have seen per year going that far back. And so it justifies me having this list. So I'm going to use it for podcast content. But as always, before our topic, we've got news, woos, and boos, which listening back to the last couple episodes, I've realized we have not been doing woo or boo. So we need to remember we also haven't had that much news, period.
Do we have to remember that, Cameron?
I think we should. I mean, it's the title of the section.
It wasn't.
We've got a pretty big woo. I mean, you might call it a boo. Obviously, the big news for today, the trailer. We'll say it right now.
Disney dropped the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer with one whole line of dialogue at the very end.
It's a pretty good trailer. I'm excited to talk about it.
I like that they didn't have a lot of dialogue. You know what?
I think it's a well-edited trailer. I think it actually... I think they're aware they need to get people's attention. This is not a gimme. Mm-hmm. This movie's success. I think this very easily could end up like the Solo film. It kind of feels similar to Solo in a way.
Coming out in less than a year.
Yeah, next May.
On
yeah,
the 22nd.
After people were claiming it had been delayed.
People were complaining. Well, so here's the funny thing. I saw, I think it was IGN. If you work at IGN and you're listening to this, hi. But I saw they posted the trailer, and then No, it wasn't IGN. It was some other fan page of Star Wars. They posted this yesterday. Actually, that said Disney was going to delay Mandalorian and Grogu because of the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. And I thought Disney went, get out of here.
So that's our big news for the day. We'll talk about that in a minute. I was going to say a second ago that some people might have booze for it, but I think those people are just... I mean, you're allowed to have any opinion you want, but it seemed like people who are just trying to, like, click rage bait. And also people who just automatically hate everything. I saw one person's video said, will this save Star Wars? Do we really need to save Star Wars after Andor season 2?
Yeah, did they just not watch Andor season 2?
Like, really, I think... People are constantly acting like things need to be saved.
Star Wars? Can you imagine if we did an entire podcast where we inflected our voice like that? Will this
I couldn't listen.
Save
I could not listen
Rebels
to
and Robots?
I don't think our 1995 episode is going to save this podcast if it does
What do
indeed
you think
need saving.
what do you think our best episode so far has been?
What's our best? When I think about it, I really enjoyed our... Barbenheimer episode.
That's a good one.
Because it just covered everything and it was a ton of fun. I think we had a lot. I like our topic episode. I had a lot of fun on the fall media episode.
Cameron had a lot of fun editing the thumbnail for last episode.
Yes, I did.
I saw that and I went,
for the rant episode when I made Optimus Prime into Jesus, and I made... I'm actually pretty proud of this Photoshop where I had... last episode, I talked about how Last Jedi is kind of implying that Luke has a lot of hatred toward Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. I made a Photoshop of old Luke looking into the mirror, and he sees old Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan.
You know,
I thought it looked pretty good.
It did look good. But you know in the Bible when it says we're going to have to account for everything we've ever done, do you think that one's going to get brought up for you? I feel like a witness in this, not really directly impacted.
I'm not saying that Optimus Prime is Jesus. You're the one who said save your figures.
I'm the one who said people think he is, but then I gave credit to the Lord.
I had to learn how to use the... puppeting tool. I can't remember exactly what's called in Photoshop to make his arms go out.
Isn't it the worst?
It takes some getting used to. The arm that was towards the camera was pretty easy. The other one was hard though because his arm overlapped with his body, but it turned out okay.
Absolute podcast.
Ironically, there was not a really great... I Google searched T posing Optimus Prime first. Not a lot of really good ones came up.
Really?
Like there's a really great frame of him doing it in Transformers G1, but it's very low resolution.
So that almost would have been... Can you imagine the low res Optimus Prime with the high res?
So anyways, news. I have two things that aren't news, but like podcast relevant things that actually happened in my life in the last since we last recorded. Do you have any news other than the podcast?
Cameron, I have nothing notes wise except for a couple of Wikipedia pages and one meme in a notes that I'm very excited to show you, and I'm so excited to show it to you in the context of my notes for this episode. But I can't. It has to be at the end of the episode.
Okay, at the end of the episode. Okay, do you have anything to show now in this section?
Have nothing.
Okay. So life events.
It's all you, Cameron.
So I was photographing an event for a local nonprofit, and someone was kind of telling a story about a baby that they weren't sure they were going to keep, but decided to have. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, they dropped the name of their child with absolutely, just the kid's name is Anakin. Wild.
It's like how people started naming their kids like Harry and Hermione from Harry Potter, but now the prequel kids are getting old enough to have kids.
So that was wild.
I thought you were gonna say something like Optimus Prime.
No, that would be
like,
great.
That's crazy.
The other one was so at my work, it's a public space to a certain extent, and I was shooting a video in my studio. And then suddenly I hear piano music off in the distance. And so I go investigating. And there's a grand piano in our building not far from the video studio. So I go to ask the person to stop. But as I'm approaching, I realize I recognize the tune. This is not just any tune. It's the Jurassic Park theme, which caught me off guard. It was this young teenage girl who was playing it. So I was like, by the way, was that the Jurassic Park theme? Love that you're playing that. So it was really funny.
Shut up.
So surprise podcast content twice in a week. So that's all I got.
I get
for
such
that.
a kick out of going places and just going podcast content.
Absolutely.
Speaking of some podcast content, Mom, you were there to witness this.
Your mom is one of the few people outside of like Caleb and Megan to ask where's the latest episode when I didn't edit the last episode fast enough for your mom.
You mean Athena didn't edit the last...
Yes, I mean it was Athena's fault. Yes,
Mom, if shout out to my mom. If the episode isn't out yet, you can blame Athena. It's really
Sleeping
hard
on
for
the
her
job,
without
literally.
thumbs sometimes. I went to a family funeral today.
Okay.
And I forgot to tell you this before the episode started, so we're doing it live on air. And they had an opportunity where people could come up and like speak about our relative who had passed away. And one of the things that people talked about is how much he loved sci-fi and Star Wars. And my grandma told a story that they'd come to visit, and that our cousin was like, you have to go see the new Star Wars. You have to go see the Star Wars film in 1977. And was like adamant. So they went and saw it and loved it. But anyways, I was at this funeral, and the brain rot of my brain internally, I just went podcast content. But obviously at a funeral, which also makes me think, man, he could have been a good guest candidate.
Oh, does he even know what a podcast is?
Yes.
Okay, fair. I don't know. I don't know how new. I guess I'm not really sure how new the term podcast is. So, anyway.
Well, probably back in the day, they used to be called radio shows.
Well, yeah, but we're not on the radio, and they weren't on demand.
And even further,
like
they were just called conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
anyways.
full official title. Got a trailer.
Fun little campy design.
Yeah, the logo is very like
Kinda red.
1950s, 1960s, like B-picture monster movie almost. It looks good. I like it. So the trailer is mostly just images, no plot almost at all, which is my kind of trailer. Like, honestly, if this was the only trailer we got, I'd be happy, but I know that they have to do more than this. But
so many trailers give too much information because they're like, please come see our movie.
hold on. I'm just now realizing, does the Mandalorian have new armor, or is it just the lighting? Because he looks a lot darker in this shot. I'm going to show it to you. This looks darker than he's normally shinier. Sorry. There you go. Sorry, it's such a quickly edited trailer. Does that look darker than normal?
It does look darker, but do you think they tamped down the reflection because of like equipment?
That's possible. That it was just really hard to shoot
Because that's
around.
not his old armor, is it?
No, because that was like red and
Yeah, it was, like,
orange. It had much more
leathery.
color. But that opens up an interesting question. I think the big question from the trailer. So we see his ship. Do you remember the
Razor Crest?
Razor Crest, which was destroyed and never rebuilt because it was fully destroyed in season 2, like completely destroyed.
Orbital
strike.
Yeah, that biblical level
And
orbital
so it's
strike.
very possible that he just got a new one, but
Traded in the motorcycle or the sports Corvette for the family van.
yeah, but also, oh man, okay, no, we see him using the Force here. Yeah, okay, so because there's a couple different things. It can. There's no way it can be between season 1 and 2 because 1, he didn't even know Grogu's name until season 2, right? And we didn't really see Grogu use the Force much in season 1. Yeah, I think a lot of this movie couldn't happen if it's between. I think he just got.
Just wait for the pages that are going to be like, they're retconning season 3.
No, I've already seen a headline that said
my
they're
gosh.
retconning season 2. They're like, oh, do you know what? I did not really process this. We see a shot of him flying into a U-wing, the ship that's real common in Rogue One and parts of Andor. I'm super happy. I love that ship. Happy to see it. Other big things. We get a quick shot of Zeb.
We do. Killing people.
From what? You remember what his species name is?
Oh, the Lasat.
Yeah, so big character from Rebels, one of our favorites.
Too.
Briefly see him in Mandalorian season 3. We're kind of miffed to not see him more. It's understandable, though. A fully CGI character, very expensive for a TV budget.
Steve Blum, who is also in Transformers.
Who is he in Transformers? I know who that, but I don't remember.
Starscream in Transformers Prime. Well, that's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you look up an animated feature in Steve Blum's 50-50 chance.
We see Zeb with his Electro staff. Pretty sick. There is a lot of fan service in this. We see Grogu and what are the little guys called? I haven't had to remember Star Wars proper nouns in a few months. Babu Frick is one of these guys. And Zellans. We see Grogu and Anzellan shuffling around in a sewer. We see Grogu using the Force to get snacks. They're throwing in some real basic Grogu imagery in here. But then the trailer really takes off and you get some fun stuff. We do see Sigourney Weaver.
I do love Sigourney
Weaver. Lead
Weaver.
actress from the Alien franchise. Lead actress from the original 2 Ghostbusters movies. Just kind of an icon in science fiction cinema. I'm trying to think of any. She's been in.
Oh, I just realized. She's in that New Republic bar base where we first see Zeb in season 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. Also in the Avatar film, she's in Galaxy Quest, which is an incredible Star Trek parody film that I love. So she's that's Alien, Avatar, Galaxy Quest, some of the biggest science fiction ever made in American cinema.
Do you think we'll see Dave Filoni in a hat in the scene in the background?
Okay, I was talking about that. Him and Jon Favreau wrote this together. Favreau directed. I'm not a huge fan of Favreau as a director. I think he's okay. He directed Iron Man 1, which is a very admirable film because they famously didn't have a finished script. There was a lot of improvisation. If you don't know, those early Marvel films were indie films. Marvel was producing it themselves as their own studio. They were not owned by Disney yet.
You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Yeah, he directed Elf, which I think is a pretty well-directed film.
I would disagree. I hate Elf. But we're not talking about the
screenplay. We're talking about the directing. I think, especially with modern comedies looking like crap, I think that is actually a very well-orchestrated Christmas film. And all the forced perspective early on in the film to make him look big in the world of the elves. He also directed Zathura, which I think is a not as good Jumanji film, but also looks good. Worked with Frank Oz on that. Frank Oz was really heavily involved in all the puppetry and stuff. Iron Man 2 is a mess. Don't know if that's necessarily Jon Favreau's fault. Cowboys and Alien is garbage. These are Jon Favreau directed movies. Chef is okay, I think. I hate The Jungle Book. I never bothered to watch the live action Lion King, and that's the last thing. He has not directed a film since 2019. And I did
watch the 2019 Lion King.
I assume you don't like it.
I think you asked me my thoughts, and I sent you an actual thesis.
Yeah, at the time.
And you went, oh.
So I did not realize how long it had been since he actually directed something, because he also he only directed one episode of The Mandalorian.
He's probably been super involved in Lucasfilm and other areas.
Yeah, I mean, he's a producer. He's produced a ton.
Floating around.
He, as far as producing goes, he's executive producer on a Skeleton Crew, on Ahsoka.
So skeletons.
On most, if not all, the episodes of The Mandalorian, A Book of Boba Fett. So he has been heavily involved in Star Wars, which is kind of crazy turn for him. But as far as directing, this is the first thing he has directed really since 2019's Lion King, quote unquote, live action remake. So I hope he's able to do something more along the lines of an Iron Man, but it's not going to be that small. But we'll see.
Not with Star Wars.
We will see. It does. The trailer looks good. It's got some nice action moments.
Well,
there's a lot of creatures, which is fun. There's the big moment of the trailer, I feel like action-wise, is them blowing up an AT-AT that's on the side of a mountain. Looks real cool. Anything else you want to point out?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold on. There's a clip I'm trying to pause. where he kicks the guy into the bar, there's someone in the background. Is that the guy from the jailbreak episode in the season 1? Or maybe just similar species.
I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've seen that. We do see Grogu being a little bit more involved. He's pushing buttons.
He's very mobile. He's swimming.
Yeah, he jumps onto the Mandalorian's back for a moment. So I'm going to try to pause it. So this is a very blurry frame, but we see ships chasing the Mandalorian and his ship. This looks a lot like the droid battleships.
Oh, it does.
Now, it's very blurry and it's hard to see, but that's what it looks like. The main ships, like fighters that the Separatists used, that were technically themselves droids. So that could be cool. Yeah, you're right. We see Grogu swimming. We see him multiple times with multiple Anzellans. Oh, and also Big Buff Hutt, Jabba's son, I think,
Yeah.
right? Whose name they have it on IMDb here.
They do.
Rhoda, Rotta, the Hutt.
So this is an interesting. So because Rhoda is confirmed alive.
So is he the same son from the Clone Wars?
From Clone Wars.
Craziness.
But my thought is, so we had this whole inheritance battle in Book of Boba Fett. Over Jabba's territory.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you can kind of just buff that up too. Is it was actually not Jabba's main area, that his domain was much larger than, and so after he died, there was probably a much bigger fight for other areas that he had control over.
Or Rada is just
not a warlord.
Care.
But we see him in a Coliseum, and so we see the Mandalorian fighting various creatures in this Coliseum as well.
Transformers.
Yeah, we see the Mandalorian fighting some rather large droids.
And then also in the Coliseum.
Oh, are the droids in the Coliseum as well?
Well, no, like there's a shot of the Mandalorian fighting a reptilian-looking thing.
Yeah.
In the Coliseum.
So, no idea what this movie's about, but that's okay. It visually, so this is something I had expressed concern for previously, which was, will this feel like anything other than an extended episode of The Mandalorian? It looks incredible. I'm also just now noticing a lot of these shots. The final shot. So most of the shots are in your typical like 2.2 1:1 film aspect ratio, but the final shot with the ATSD falling over is in full screen, and then it says, what was forged for IMAX. So we don't have an IMAX, unfortunately, here in our town, but I would be very interested to find a way to do that, if possible, because there is IMAXs in other cities not far from us. So that could be fun. Big fan of IMAX format.
How much do you think Pedro's actually in this movie?
I'm going to guess 0. I think it'd be cool if he was. Obviously, you've lost the effect of him taking off his helmet. But I still think it's good to see. I don't think you should use it for shock value. I think you should use it just because he's a character and we want to see our main character's face. But I'm guessing 0. After the last 2 times we've seen him, we didn't see his face.
Which
season
sucks.
Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 3.
I was just say that sucks because I'm like, how much is he getting paid versus the person who's actually on set doing stuff?
Yeah.
I do like this comment under the trailer. I'm glad Pedro's getting work again. Feels like it's been a few days since his last performance.
Yep.
Somehow the Razor Crest returned.
Yeah.
Pedro's back on the big screen. It's been 2 weeks without him.
Yeah.
First Star Wars movie in 7 years.
That is so. It'll be like more like 6.5. But that's splitting hairs at that point.
Well, by the time it comes out,
it'll be May 26th. The last film came out in December 2019.
Okay, all right.
Still, that's a long time. And on the one hand, yeah, I mean, I think it was good for them to wait. I think COVID obviously affected that, but they didn't really wait. We've had endless stuff on streaming, so Star Wars never really went away. So I don't think they actually committed to letting Star Wars rest. But guess what came at that time? 2 seasons of Andor, so I'm not complaining. That's all I got to say about it. And are we ready to talk about 1995?
I'm trying to think if there's any good memes. There's just a lot of people griping in the comments.
There's nothing. See, that's the thing. That's a really good litmus test. There's nothing in this to gripe about.
Yeah.
This is to get people to watch the movie. This is not the movie itself. You're not really seeing much. I guess it's just as silly as us to be talking about it, but at least we're like excited for something and we're not just whining like babies.
I think it's also crazy. People are like, I felt nothing watching this. And I'm like, you don't.
Yeah, it's because you're 40 years old and Star Wars is designed
That's
for 12-year-olds.
That's because you're 30 years old.
Yeah. Hey, I still felt something. I'm still engaged by the magic of cinema.
Well, I think it's also something that's like you don't have to feel emotions for. Emotions are not always indicative of something being amazing. I think if that makes sense. Emotions are really fleeting, actually, and the heart is fickle and should not be trusted. But it's just one of those things where I felt nothing watching this. Okay, so you watched a trailer. That's okay. You don't have to have a spiritual. You don't have to have a spiritual experience watching a 1 and 10-second trailer.
That's true. I totally agree.
Anyways, my big question is where is Agent Callus?
He's dead.
No.
He's in hell.
No.
Okay. 1995 in film and maybe some other things.
I already looked that up, Cameron. I can't believe you're slacking.
So, I have on my list. I don't rank films I don't remember at all. I'm gonna leave out some films probably. And it's not ranking of every film that came out. There's every film I have seen that I remember.
We're ranking every single film from 1995.
So we got 20 films. Typically, the films at the bottom of my list are. It kind of depends on the year. I will typically try to have 3 lists. Best movies, which is my favorite movie, ranked down to the movies that I think are just okay. Worst movies that I actually actively think are bad, and those are ranked by how unlikely I am to rewatch them. And then I have there's a French word called nanar, which is like a word used in French cinema to describe movies that are so bad they're good. So my nanar list is oftentimes films that are so bad they're good, or that are extreme mixed bag of this stuff I like a lot, but there's also stuff that's really bad in it.
It's like Caleb's with us.
Yes, using a French word. And so I don't have a worst list for 1995. I do have 2 films on the nanar list, which I'll talk about. But so the films at the bottom of this list, the 1995 best list, being at the bottom does not mean that I hate them. Normally means I just don't remember them very well, or I think they're just okay. So starting with number 20 is Indian in the Cupboard, a book we probably all read. Did you read that book in elementary school?
I do not remember.
It's a really bizarre concept. It's a little boy has a cupboard that if he puts a toy into it and opens it again, it becomes to life. There's actually a clip in this movie that uses one of the toys he puts in there is Darth Vader. The film is actually directed by Frank Oz, voice and puppeteer of Yoda and the Muppets.
Did you know you can buy a $300 7-foot animatronic Darth Vader from Home Depot this year for Halloween?
I did not know that.
Now you do.
So that's really all I remember about it. The Indian in the Cupboard's obviously an allusion towards like the first toy he makes come to life is a little Native American. I don't remember it very much, but you know, it is nostalgic in the sense I remember reading the book and watching the movie as a kid. Number 19 on the list is Major Payne. Very silly comedy starring one of the Wayans brothers. Which Wayans brother is that? It is Damon Wayans. Damon Wayans, really big comedian from the 90s. He's just doing his goofy stuff. He's a drill sergeant for some high schoolers. Don't really remember it very well, but Damon Wayans, also very nostalgic.
Can we pause real quick?
Sure.
I'm not getting anything in my headphones, actually.
Oh, have you not been the whole time?
Now I am.
There we go. Now Rachel can hear herself talk.
I put the other... I was like, man, it's really kind of quiet. Here we are, 30 minutes later.
Apollo 13 at number 18. This is a film I really wish that I liked more.
It's got Tom Hanks, right?
It's got an incredible cast.
Big year for Tom Hanks.
Actually, the year before is really the big year because that's 94 is the Forrest Gump year. But it's a big reign, like the mid 90s, a huge run for Tom Hanks. But yes, there is another Tom Hanks film that we're going to talk about from this year as well.
My college roommate and I watched that in college.
Okay.
We watched, I think we would do a lot of things. We were like, let's just find something. We just happened to we watched that and it was enjoyable.
So it's about the infamous or real life Apollo 13.
Aliens.
No, that's Apollo 18. God awful movie.
I have seen that one.
Apollo 13, a real life story of how they were headed to the moon, but on the way there was a major malfunction, and they successfully, spoilers, got the team back. And it is starring Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris.
I'm so sorry.
Athena, cut that out.
I was trying to catch it at a good time and I didn't do that. I'm allergic to Kevin Bacon.
So phenomenal cast, directed by Ron Howard, who also directed half of the Solo film.
Half.
Apollo 13, I think if you want to watch a movie about people being really good at what they do, it's really solid for that. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah, it's very straightforward. It's a very just very matter of fact film. It doesn't really have a lot of emotion or excitement to it. It's a very Ron Howard film, which he directs movies very straightforward. So I love space films. I love movies about people being really good at something. I do think it's good for that, but not great. But, I think those are the kind of movies I still like to this day, though, for sure. Going on to number 17, Mallrats, another movie I wish I liked more, but still a lot of fun. The second film from famous film director Kevin Smith, most famous for Clerks. This movie is actually one of the earliest Stan Lee cameos. He plays himself in the movie and shows up and kind of gives the main character a pep talk at the end. It's very 90s. It's about all these people who hang out in the mall. It's a fun movie. Shallow Grave. There's a lot of movies in here from directors I like a lot, but I don't like these particular films. Shallow Grave is a very early film from Danny Boyle, director of some of my favorite films. The 2015 Steve Jobs film, 28 Days and 28 Years Later. He directed Sunshine, 127 Hours. What a ton of just absolute bangers. Shallow Grave does have Eva McGregor in it. There's a lot of podcast relevant people into these things, especially Star Wars.
My high school showed 127 hours.
Why? For those who don't know, the James Franco gets stuck in a cave.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
My mom could probably speak to this. They showed it 1 year for finals, and some kid in my class passed out and fell face first on the bleachers.
Oh, yeah, because it's incredibly detailed when they show James Franco cutting his arm off.
They didn't show the film after that, I don't think.
No, you should not be showing that to that's a rated R film for a reason. Shallow Grave is a fun, some friends come into some money. Do they come? I'm trying to remember exactly what they do. I think they steal some money or kill a guy. I can't remember exactly what they do, but they're hiding a dead body and some money, I think, and they become very paranoid. It is a solid film. Danny Boyle is an incredible director. I just don't love this movie. I don't think I want to rewatch it again. Continuing the trend of directors I love but don't love these movies but like them. Number 15, 12 Monkeys. Very famous Bruce Willis time travel, time is a loop paradox film. The director is, I'm going to totally blank on his name. Man, I did not come prepared enough for this. I guess Terry Gilliam, director of my favorite film, Monty Python: The Holy Grail. Directed a bunch of other films I love. It is a very stylistic, an incredible, crazy Brad Pitt performance. Whenever Brad Pitt's allowed to not just be the handsome main character, doing a great job. I do recommend all these movies, though. Even though I don't love them, I think these are all definitely worth a watch. And if you've seen any of these, please feel free to jump in. We were speaking of Zathura earlier. The original Jumanji is actually quite scary when you watch it. The characters are almost constantly dying. A kid turns into a monkey. It's crazy. Directed by Joe Johnston, who got his start working on Star Wars films, and made, again, director, I like his other work more. He made Jurassic Park 3 also, and The Rocketeer and Captain America, The First Avenger. So I like his other movies quite a bit more. But it's still a fun movie if you've never seen it. It's very 90s, very nostalgic. Number 13, the animated film. Now we're getting into movies I actually do quite like. Balto, hand-drawn. Also, Kevin Bacon, I'm pretty sure, is the voice of
Kevin
Balto.
Bacon. He is. I was curious if this was going to be on your list or not. I'm excited.
Yeah, this one I had on VHS, watched it a ton as a kid. Do you know who the voice of both of the bears is? It's one guy. It is... No. Sorry, no, never mind. It is not one guy. I was wrong about that. One of them is Bob Hoskins, who is... most famously, the main character in... I'm going to totally blank. He is the main character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Great Australian actor. The other bear is...
Isn't Phil Collins?
It's Phil Collins.
The
singer.
one that doesn't really talk?
No, I think he's the other one.
No, I don't think that's right.
Muck. I don't remember the character. Boris and Muck, right? Are the two bears?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, Boris is the...
But you've also got Jim Cummings as the villain.
Uh-huh.
The rival dog.
Steel. That's his name.
Yes.
I have this on DVD 6 feet away from us.
That's hysterical.
Right now.
That's so good. I don't even actually know who directed this. Simon Wells, who also directed Prince of Egypt. Holy crap. Man.
Round of applause for the king.
And he's still working to this day. He's a storyboard artist on Kung Fu Panda 4, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Lego Movie 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3, Kung Fu Panda 3, Lego Batman. This guy rules! Storyboard artist on the Lego Movie, the first Kung Fu Panda, Flushed Away. This guy, and also Spirit, Telling of the Cimarron.
King of my childhood.
Also worked on Road El Dorado, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast. This guy is incredible. And he did not, now again, just to specify, he did not direct those. He was a storyboard artist on those. Now, he did direct American Tail, Five Goes West. We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, which we may cover at the podcast at some point.
Do you know they used oil paint in this film for the background?
I could tell. That makes so much sense.
So for those of you that aren't here, I didn't think it was going to take Cameron that long to notice. So I did a series of paintings of some of my favorite animated films, but it was just the backgrounds. I didn't put any characters in it, and one of them is from Balto. It's the one no one can. It's the one no one can guess.
Forgot that. That's so great. He went on to, after Prince of Egypt, direct the two major flops: the live-action movie The Time Machine with Guy Pearce, and the insane animated film Mars Needs Moms.
Oh, I forgot about
but you know
that.
what?
I did have that book.
A lot of the time, when people become directors, they oftentimes refuse to go backwards and just quit. I'm really glad he went back to being a storyboard artist. That's amazing.
I feel like he learned. He went, all right, this is where I'm at.
But like, he was it sucks because he did make some very solid. I mean, Prince of Egypt, dude, come on, incredible. It's such a bummer. I mean, I think it's just he worked in 2D animation and it went out of fashion, and that sucks.
Balto did get two. It kind of got stomped at the box office due to another film that we'll talk about.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it did have a pretty solid DVD career and had two direct-to-DVD sequels.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the time when a movie could be profitable because of VHS/DVD sales. So we've learned a lot about Balto today. If you don't know, it is the quote-unquote true story of...
It's loosely based off of the true story of the Alaskan diphtheria crisis in 1952.
But it was a true story that there were sled dog teams transporting medication through Alaska at the time.
Balto was the last one, but the one that had the most dangerous was Togo.
What I did not know, and I remember I looked this up a little while ago with my brother, is that the movie, first off, I totally forgot until I looked this up, starts in live action for some reason.
It starts in live action.
Has a statue of Balto, which is real. That's a real statue.
It starts in live action because the animated portion, the majority of the film, is a flashback. Because it starts off in New York, live action, where the Balto statue is, with the grandma and her granddaughter. And the grandma's like, I knew her. And it turns out the grandma is the young girl from the film.
For sure. Moving on, number 12, a movie that is probably not very good, but I grew up watching a ton on VHS, especially I was too young to watch it. Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Oh.
This is the second Ace Ventura film, which if you don't know, Ace Ventura is one of Jim Carrey's most famous characters. He is a quote-unquote pet detective. He's pretty much Sherlock Holmes, except for all he cares about is animals. And this one is in Africa. Not a particularly sensitive depiction of African tribalism, but it has some iconic lines. Jim Carrey, love him or hate him, goes for it. Grew up watching that, love it. Next one is a movie that I watched earlier this year for the first time. Very famous film. Because I watched it, I referenced it like 3 times in a row in the podcast, is Michael Mann's Heat, which was the first time Al Pacino and Robert De Niro were ever in a film together, I believe. De Niro is a criminal. He's a criminal. He's a crime man. He's a criminal. Al Pacino's a cop trying to hunt him down. It's very long, but it's very like gritty and real. Huge inspiration on The Dark Knight. Recommend. Number 10 is the classic 90s comedy Tommy Boy. It's one of the iconic, I'm trying to remember the lead actor's name. Oh, man, I'm totally blanking right now. Tommy Boy is starring Chris Farley.
Rest in peace.
It's just one of the 90s comedies. It's not a great film, but Chris Farley was hilarious. Had great chemistry with his SNL cast member, David Spade. And if you just want, like, these kind of movies are dead. We don't get a lot of pure comedies anymore that aren't just like original Netflix films that look like crap. It also has some iconic quotes in it. Another super dumb movie, but that I will go to bat for, is an early Adam Sandler film, Billy Madison. Actually has a really fun concept, which is he's a rich kid who wants to inherit his dad's business, but his dad doesn't trust him. So he has to redo every grade of school, like 2 weeks per grade. And so you've got him in elementary school and middle school. He makes friends with those kids. It's just pure comedy, but I think it's hilarious. You have a look on your face.
I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Adam Sandler movies.
So fair.
But not as much as I dislike Will Ferrell movies.
Also fair. Okay, so now we're getting serious now. Number 8. A movie whose director and lead star are both sex criminals. So it's now kind of become a leper of a film, but it does have an incredibly iconic ending, The Usual Suspects. Directed by Bryan Singer. The most famous performance in it is Kevin Spacey, but is an incredible crime movie. If you're interested in crime film, it's great. Number 7, another one whose director and lead star, same guy, not great in real life, but incredible on film. Mel Gibson's Braveheart. My most strong impression of this film is that I had never seen it until a couple years ago, and this was famously one of those big 2 VHS films. It kind of starts off very, very slow. If you don't know, Braveheart is about kind of this legendary Scotsman who rebelled against the British Empire. And it starts off very slow, takes a long time to get going, and then out of nowhere, Mel Gibson's character is riding up to a man on a horse, and he just pulls a club out of his back and just slams the guy in the face. And the movie doesn't slow down from that point. It's amazing. Number 6, a movie I probably wouldn't know that much about. Our generation, super nostalgic for it, but I think for good reason. When I worked at a video store, this is actually one of my manager's favorite movies, and she would play it all the time. It's a Goofy movie. Very overlooked at the time, for obvious reasons. It's a Goofy movie. What the heck? But it is so 90s in the most incredible way. It has amazing music. It's a very touching movie. I think this movie actually is really good at everything it sets out to do. It is genuinely funny, genuinely touching, has great songs, has incredible animation. The clips I've seen from the documentary they recently released about this movie seems really fascinating. They fought to keep the original voice of Goofy rather than Steve Martin or someone like that. Love Goofy movie.
Jim Cummings is also
Yes.
in this film. But do you know who also is in this film?
Who's that?
Jason Marsden, who is Max. He has a huge
Yes,
list.
I think we've talked about
So
this
he's
on the podcast
goofy.
before.
He's in the English dub of Spirited Away. He's the
Okay.
milk. He's the dragon. He's Kovu in Lion King 2. It's very important.
That's some deep Rachel lore. I have
he's
no
in
idea what that
Tarzan.
means.
He's in a ton, and he is also he's Batman Beyond.
Nice.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Hold on. See, now I've said it in confidence, and I hate being wrong.
He's been in various episodes of Transformers Earthspark, as well as Rescue
he's
Bots.
Batman Beyond.
104 episodes of
wait.
Rescue Bots, actually, as Salvage and Cade Burns.
Oh, he's not Batman. Okay, so there are two. I like being right. I tend to mix them up. It's Will Friedle and James Marsden. I mix them up
Sure.
all the time because they're so similar in my head.
Okay, nice.
They're young punk.
Sure.
That's their type.
So if you've never seen Goofy movie, give it a try. You'll definitely like it. It is, it's just been very like I said, touching and funny and actually like good songs. Number 5. Now this is a great film from a director I like a lot who is unfortunately very fallen off. Robert Rodriguez's Desperado is just one of the most insane action films you will ever see. It's just so over the top, so ridiculous. An early, blanking on the lead actor's name again. I'm sorry. Names are, as usual, are totally.
We do a lot of speaking with confidence and not knowing people's names.
Man. Antonio Banderas is the lead.
The dad from Spy Kids.
Exactly. Well, same director, Robert Rodriguez. And this film
And
actually.
he did a couple episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
He did. That's true. I forgot about that. You're absolutely right, though.
Willingly forgot about that.
No, I like his contributions. You know what?
It wasn't bad.
Say what you
It wasn't
will
that
about Boba Boba Fett. It's actually very, very well directed, I think. It's a very technically well executed show. I think it
is.
looks great.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
In a similar vein, one of my favorite directors, Sam Raimi, director of the Evil Dead films and the first Spider-Man trilogy. This is his insane Western, The Quick and the Dead, with Russell Crowe and Gene Hackman and a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. It's what did you just point at? Oh, you did the DiCaprio point. I'm trying to think if there's anyone Transformers or Star Wars or otherwise. Quick and the Dead. Sam Raimi ever directed anything Star Wars? No, definitely not.
Gosh, keep him away after the second.
I love his direction on the Doctor Strange sequel.
I don't. You know what? That movie could have pulled me in if they pulled a Clue. I think there should have been 6 or 7 different endings.
Oh, that would have been cool. Keith David is also incredible in The Quick and the Dead. He's not in anything podcast relevant, I think, but he is in The Thing. He's like the second lead in The Thing. Trying to think. I feel he must have done a Transformers voice. He is. He's Grimlock in Transformers Earthspark. There it is.
Nice.
And he is also the voice of Barricade in the Transformers video game of the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Which is hilarious. He must have done a Star Wars voice at some
Must have done
point.
a Star
No,
Wars.
he hasn't. That's shocking. He's done a ton of voices. And he's obviously very important to a very Cameron thing. Halo, he's the voice of the Arbiter. Continuing on. Anyways, Western, an incredibly insane stylized Western that I highly recommend. It's all shootouts. Like it's like a tournament of shootouts. Love it. Number 3. A film probably a lot of people already has not seen, but is almost as good as the first film in this series. Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance. So good. Him and Sam Jackson. It's Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson running around having to solve puzzles, trying to stop a guy from like blowing up New York City. It's just the best. It's just incredible action. Sam Jackson is so good in it. Sam Jackson, podcast relevant for obvious reasons.
It's Athena. Insert reasons here.
If you've never seen Die Hard, definitely watch Die Hard. But then also Die Hard with a Vengeance is the good sequel. Die Hard 2 is pretty good, but you don't have to watch it. Number 2, one of my favorite directors, a movie I used to not like, but I rewatched last year and actually fell in love with it, is the murder mystery. Also, unfortunately, has Kevin Spacey in it. Seven, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. It's kind of like one of your classic murder mystery films, except for the murder mystery part. Why I didn't originally like it very much is because there's not really a mystery to it. Like, they don't solve the mystery. The spoiler alert, the killer ends up giving himself up, but it's the style. It's so stylized. It's so well acted and well written. I've already given away part of the ending, but I think it's the journey that makes this movie really, really good, and it's just so grimy and gritty and gross. It's actually incredibly a stark contrast to my number 1 film, that it's just such a dark film. It's director David Fincher, who did Fight Club and Gone Girl and I think his other famous films in there, Alien 3, which is not really his movie, but anyways. That's everything up through number 1. Did you have something you wanted to say about 7? Looks like you.
No, I was going to say something about it, and then I realized I was wildly incorrect.
Okay.
I accidentally mistook Crimson Tide for The Hunt for Red October.
I do love Hunt for October. I've never seen Crimson Tide.
I was really confused because I'm like, we've seen that. We watched it in college.
Crimson Tide? Or
Hunt for Red October.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Look, sometimes you see...
Why were you going to bring up either?
Well, because I thought Crimson Tide was Hunt for Red October, and Crimson Tide was 1995.
Oh, I see.
So I was going to say, you saw that one. Put it in the ranking.
Yeah,
Redo it. We'll start the episode up. We'll start the episode over.
My 2 Nanar films, they're both comic book films.
Nar.
These movies are terrible, but they're actually, I like the way they're shot. They're actually accurate to their comic books in a lot of different ways. You have Batman Forever, which is the 3rd Batman film.
A Bat credit card?
No, that is actually Batman and Robin. Okay, that's the George Clooney one. This is I'm totally blanking on the actor's name. Batman is played by... Oh, I'm totally blanking. Man. It is Val Kilmer. And...
Who is Moses in Prince of Egypt?
There you go. There's a lot of shared actors between all these.
Good year for the 1990s actors.
You've got Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and Jim Carrey as the Riddler, just going all out. All the Bat vehicles are insane. They have an adult Robin in it. It's bad, but also you have the iconic the musician Seal's "Kiss from a Rose" in it. You know that song?
Unfortunately.
Now we're stepping a little more into your territory. Batman. Do you have any Batman Forever opinions?
I have not watched Batman.
You've never seen Batman Forever?
So I watched the animated ones because they're good.
Yes.
Well, except for Killing Joke.
Sure.
We don't talk about that one. That one's yeesh. That era of Batman movies has never spoken to me.
I think this one is dumb fun.
There's never been a little worm in my ear that says you should go watch the 1990s Batman films.
But you've never seen them, though. I think you should give them a try. I think there is something to be enjoyed in them in that they are so ridiculous.
I did love the Batman's 1960 show.
See, this is taking direct inspiration from that.
Okay.
I think they take it too far and they don't necessarily success. But if you watch it in the prism of these are actually intending to be like that show, there is definitely a level of enjoyment to be had.
Does it copy the conversation between Batman and Bruce Wayne on the phone?
No, they do not do that.
That's such a good... It's the police chief wants to talk to Batman. Okay, Ace and Mary wants to talk to Bruce Wayne. We'll put you on the phone together. It's so funny.
And in the same vein, Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd is my other Nanar film.
No.
It is, if you don't know, Judge Dredd is a comic book about this post-apocalyptic world where everyone has been crammed into these gigantic cities. Like there's only like a couple of cities in all of the U.S. and they're huge and they're rampant with crime. So the judges And the much better version of this is the 2011 adaptation with Carl Urban. That's just called Dread. That's a much better version of this. But this movie is a ton of fun. It's very directly stripping from the comic books for its visuals. The judges are pretty much. There was so much crime that the crime system broke down, so they made the judges, which are judge, jury, and executioner. They're these super soldiers who are the police officers, and they just execute people on the spot. It's very dark, but it's a lot of fun. Stallone is very Stallone in this. If you want, again, another silly 90s. See, I love this era of Hollywood blockbusters, because even when they were at their dumbest, they still have a ton of craft involved because CGI has not taken over yet, but they have huge budgets. So there's tons of costumes and sets and props, and they're just amazing.
And no one was trying to figure out how to make a franchise rather than just a movie.
Well, no, they definitely were.
Well, I mean, extended. I feel like
they weren't trying to spin off.
Extended universe.
There wasn't. I think they wanted them to become franchises, but there wasn't as big of an expectation that they actually would.
Exactly.
They weren't already. So the issue was, I think the difference is they were still solid, contained movies.
Solid snake.
Now what we have is they make a movie thinking, we will definitely be making a trilogy. So the first film is going to be a third of a film rather than being a whole film. At the bare minimum, these movies were at least fully contained narratives in and of themselves. And so you still got a lot within one movie. And if anything, the Batman films are kind of notorious for trying to speed run doing all the villains so they can get to them as quickly as possible. So those are two fun, very, very cheesy 90 movies that I grew up with. To do a quick overview of the rest of 1995 before we get to my number one movie. Look at the Oscars. You've got Apollo 13 wins Best Film Editing. Totally agree with that. Also nominated Babe, Braveheart, Crimson Tide, Seven. Best Visual Effects nominated. Only 2 films nominated. Apollo 13 and the winner, Babe, the talking pig movie.
Crazy.
Wild. Let's see. What else? Interesting nominations. Best Makeup goes to Braveheart. Best cinematography goes to Braveheart. Also nominated, though, Batman Forever. That's pretty good. For a silly Batman movie to get nominated for Best Cinematography, I think that says something, and I agree. Let's see, what else? Anything else? Batman also gets nominated for Best Sound and Best Sound Editing, which is really cool. Best Music. Oh, you know what? I actually dropped a movie. I think I've seen this movie since... Okay. I actually don't think I've ever seen this movie all the way through, but earlier this year we went on vacation with some friends who have some little kids, and they watched this movie while I was in the house. They animated Pocahontas.
That was on my list too.
And
stellar music.
It won Best Original Song for Colors of the Wind. Undeniable. Mm-hmm. Great song. I'm now realizing there actually is another movie in here that's not super amazing, but I actually did kind of that I have also seen since I last updated this list. The American President, directed by Rob Reiner, who is directed some great movies like Princess Bride and Walk With Me. Is it Walk With Me or Stand? No, Stand By Me is what he's directed. Let's see if there's anything else he's done that's big. When Harry Met Sally. In 3 movies in a row. Stand By Me in 86, Princess Bride in 87, When Harry Met Sally 89. Few Good Men, 1992. So he's directed some great films. American President is, if you want kind of a sappy romantic comedy, we also don't really get at a high level these days. It is, now I'm going to try to remember who the main actor is. I think it's Kirk Douglas. So Michael Douglas. Sorry, Michael Douglas is the president, and his wife died as he was running for president, and he decides he wants to start dating. So it is beautifully shot. It's directed by one of my favorite writers, Aaron Sorkin. It's not super clever. It's not. And also Michael J. Fox, really good in it. Richard Dreyfuss, Annette Bening, Martin Sheen. It's just a movie full of great actors bouncing off each other. I'm also kind of fascinated by the political world as a setting for a movie. Recommend. It'd probably be on the lower end of this year for me, but still, again, recommend. What other Oscar nominations do we have? We have... So... Oh! Wow. You know what? This actually, I would include this very high on my list of movies. It's not technically a movie. The winner for Best Animated Short Film is Wallace and Gromit: A Close Shave, which is where the iconic character Shaun the Sheep comes from. Love that. I had it on VHS as a kid. It's the one I've seen the most of the original 3 Wallace and Gromit claymation short films. So good.
I had the Were-Rabbit one.
That's the full movie, though.
Yeah, but...
a good movie, though. That's much later. What else do we have going on in here? We've got Babe also nominated for Best Writing, which is kind of crazy. Usual Suspects wins Best Screenplay. My number one also nominated for Best Screenplay, which is kind of wild for that kind of an animated movie to get nominated. Kevin Spacey wins Best Supporting Actor for The Usual Suspects. Brad Pitt actually gets nominated for Best Supporting as well for 12 Monkeys. Yeah, now he is. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else interesting in here? This was the year of Casino, which is a major Martin Scorsese film that I've actually never seen. Mel Gibson wins Best Director and Best Picture for Braveheart. Also nominated... Wow, I actually did not know this. Babe was nominated for Best Picture, along with Apollo 13, a Hispanic or a Spanish language film called The Postman, and Sense and Sensibility. I have never seen Babe, The Postman, or Sense and Sensibility.
I've seen Babe.
Oh, Nicolas
Cage. On
VHS. Nicolas Cage wins Best Actor for Leaving Las Vegas. Okay, another movie I have actually seen. This one would maybe go in my Nanar list. It's called Mr. Holland's Opus. Richard Dreyfuss gets nominated for Best Actor for that movie. Have you ever heard or seen this movie? Mr. Holland. So Richard Dreyfuss is one of the main characters from the Jaws film, and he's also in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's been in a bunch of movies. He plays a musician who begrudgingly becomes a music teacher. He's only doing it to pay the bills while he writes his big classical music piece.
Magnum opus, you could say.
Yes. And the movie is, as the decades go on, things don't change. He remains a teacher, and he's kind of grumpy about it. There's a part where he kind of starts to fall in love with one of his high school students, and it's represented as he doesn't do anything. She's very much in love with him. It's kind of portrayed as he likes the attention, but I think the movie, I think they could have done without that. If it was college, I think you get away with it a little bit more of the kind of like it's gray area, but being a minor, don't like it. But Dreyfuss is a lot of fun. Dreyfuss is very good at being a grumpy old man. It is despite it being very cheesy, very 90s, it has a charm to it. So that's why I would almost put it in the Nanar area. So that's the Oscars for that year. Box office, some notable movies in there. Let's take a look. You've got... I'm trying to think if there's anything that looks like it bombed real bad that is interesting.
I know one thing that didn't do well.
What's that?
Balto.
Oh, yeah.
$31 million budget, made $11 million.
Not great.
Wonder why? We'll talk about why, actually. Genuinely, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of number one. Yeah. I see this list. I need to change this list because it's including movies that came out in the last year. Casino didn't do great. The Brady Bunch movie. 12 Monkeys did not do great. The American President did not do great. Babe did okay. The sequel, Grumpier Old Men. The Father's Bride Part 2. Oh, Waterworld. Is Waterworld 1995? Mm-hmm. Man, there's a bunch of movies I've watched since I made this. Waterworld. Okay, let's talk Waterworld. This is definitely an Anar film. Do you know what Waterworld is?
Yeah.
Funny enough, we got the first image from Star Wars Starfighter in the last couple weeks, and people... It's just an image of them out in the water, and people were making comparisons to Waterworld. It is a...
I heard they were making a sequel.
The Waterworld?
I also hear a lot of things that aren't
I
true.
doubt it. I really, really doubt it. It is one of the most infamous bombs. It was crazy expensive. It is about a future where the entire Earth is flooded. And people, the few
that won't happen again,
survive. Yeah. The few remaining humans live on like boats and like floating, very small like
it's like
cities.
Mad Max, but water.
It's 100% what it is. And Kevin Costner's your lead man. He's very much like Mad Max. Spoiler: he's also a mutant fish man. He's got gills.
Forgot about that.
It goes right back to exactly what I said. The visual effects on this film are insane because they're mostly practical. Very, very little, I think almost probably no CGI in it. There's some compositing stuff that obviously wasn't shot in real life, but still your classic effects. The props, the boats, all like the machinery of how this world works, all super good. The movie sucks. The story's bad. Costner's really boring in it, but... it has the same villain as the Super Mario Brothers movie, who himself is a very famous actor who I'm totally blanking on his name right now. I can look it up right here, actually. It is Dennis Hopper. But if you want just a big movie that clearly a ton of work put into because it's super expensive, they're actually shooting out on the open water. Ton of fun. Definitely an Anar film. Glad that one came up. We are almost done with the box office here. I'm trying to... I have so many tabs open right now. Crimson Tide, Die Hard with a Vengeance at number 10. 7. Well, I can't believe 7 made more than Die Hard. That's crazy. Jumanji at number 8. I've never seen this film, Casper. The live-action Casper movie. A big early CGI character, Casper.
Well, we started an episode of the second season of Lucas whatever, Light and Magic. And that was the first... like movie where it was live action, but they had an animated character on screen for the whole film.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was huge. James Bond's GoldenEye, which I've never seen, but is very much credited with bringing back James Bond. Video games, obviously, very famous. Number 5. No, I think actually I should change this. Okay. This arranges things just a little bit. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, at number 5. So a Jim Carrey comedy made $100 million in 1995. That's crazy. Pocahontas at number 4. My favorite...
Stephen Menken and Alan Schwartz.
Good stuff. I think the movie's just okay. I think it's beautifully animated.
Oh, it's a gorgeous film.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And then you look into the
how old she actually was,
and the actual interaction.
Yeah. My favorite movie of this year is at number 3, Apollo 13 at number 2, and Batman Forever at number 1. There is a reason they keep making Batman movies, because they make money.
Because of me.
My favorite film of the year, my birth year, 1995, is my second favorite film of all time. It's animated, so that's why it's podcast content. It's Toy Story, baby! If you haven't already guessed it, grew up watching Toy Story an absolute ton. I love it to this day so much.
First 3D animated film.
Yes. Insane that this movie even exists. Obviously, elements of the animation have aged. But when you take into account that is the first one, I think... it
still stands up.
So many films that are doing something for the first time are just trying to get it done. I think a famous example, you look at a movie I love, Tron Legacy. The de-aging CGI on the... Man, I am just blanking on actor's name.
Is it Russell Crowe? No.
Not Russell Crowe. It is Jeff Bridges. Awful. And at the time, it was bad, and it's only aged poorly. Most CGI de-aging looks bad in the moment and later. But I would say they did an incredible job with not only doing this technology for the first time in this full-length feature, but it is stylized. There's such an atmosphere to Toy Story.
And the thing that really only ages it is just the textures.
Sure.
It's just
Yeah,
the smoothness, which is what could be done at the time. Mm-hmm. Potentially some hair textures. I mean, all the kids are Andy copies, model wise, just with some different adjustments. But it doesn't matter because you see them for a couple of shots. It's not that important. And when it comes to animation, you can have an extremely stylized film, and you can, if you're like, oh, well, maybe it's not the best style, or there are some kinks in, or I guess some people call flaws, because not us. We stand animation in this household. But when you make up with it with passion and stylizing, it can fill a lot of those gaps.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Yeah, the choice, you're talking about the very smooth plasticky surfaces. That's why they chose to do toys.
Yeah.
And so it
that's
looks
all
great.
You could do.
And it's also great. That's just not just the toys themselves, but the kids. A room. Your main environment is a room, and so the room feels like it's not. They're not going for total realism, but it is engrossing in a way that 2D animation often can't be. Yeah, great sense of scale, absolutely, and. Going to the arcade, being in a car, like these surfaces, like textury surfaces, they can actually do really well. It's just skin they can't do well.
You know, maybe the only thing that you watch that makes you go, huh, is the dog.
Spike, but they made the brilliant choice of making the dog a villain.
Yes.
And so it works really well in that sense. And also, honestly, the kid you see the most is, other than Andy, is the kid next door, whose name I'm totally blanking on. What is his name? It is... ding. It's not immediately obvious. Oh, okay. Well, we all know the kid with the skull shirt. Sid, there it is. He's super scary to look at, and that's great. Incredible. Okay, so let's talk about people behind it. Unfortunately, also directed by people who have been Me Too'd. John Lasseter, and one of the writers on it is director of The Avengers, Joss Whedon. But
yeah, people who were doing some not good stuff in The Office.
But interesting side note, one of the writers is also Andrew Stanton, who's done just a ton of writing in the Pixar universe, but he also has writing credits on 2 episodes of The Kenobi Show, funny enough.
Interesting.
He's not done much live action outside of that, or any live action. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Obviously, incredible cast. Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz continue to be amazing. I want to just go back to the atmosphere. I think, the sunsets, the neon glow of the arcade, the suburban feel of the neighborhood. I just feel like, without being photorealistic, they managed to capture how these, especially as a kid, I'm watching this movie as a kid, and this movie influences, I think, the way I feel about these spaces because it captures it so well. Obviously, incredible music. It's so fun. It got nominated for Best Screenplay for a reason, because it's very sharp, it's very funny. There's so many lines of dialogue that stick in my head to this day.
We said good year for Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is Woody. Well, and I think also when they did the voice lines for this film, they had them all in the same room.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
People can just send voice memos in from their trailers now, as we joke with Pedro Pascal, doing anything other than Star Wars. But when you have that casting environment, you can actually feed off people instead of speaking into an empty void. You can react with your cast members. Yeah, there are so many things that, you can say what you will about the last decade of Pixar. They still continue to put out, their average is still very high, and they do still continue to put out very good movies. But especially if you just look out over the entire time they've existed, so many movies have been so good from Pixar. That's not a new thing to say. I think you're getting to, they've done so many things. Toy Story starts a lot of the reasons why those are good, and one is the way they work with voice actors. They managed to balance it became so necessary for animated films to have big stars in them, but they cast them well. They don't just choose random people like Kevin Bacon as Balto. They actually think about, and they're not... I actually like Kevin Bacon as Balto.
He's fine, but he's not Tim Allen as Woody. Tim Allen as Buzz and Tom Hanks as Woody. Like those, and just down the list, you've got Don Rickles, Wallace Shawn, Jim Varney. These are people who are like actual comedic actors bringing so much to their parts. They got the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket to be the little army man. Like these are great choices.
The sequel almost didn't happen.
Yeah. One other thing I want to say about Toy Story itself is it's also an incredible film about growing up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not an accident that Andy's two favorite toys, Andy, a boy without a father around. We never see it. The entire series, we never see any reference to a father. His two favorite toys are classic figures of manhood, a cowboy and an astronaut. And you have a struggle for power, you have struggle for influence, you have struggle against each other, and ultimately the lesson is you gotta be friends. Just be friends. I love movies about friendship, and this is a huge reason. The friendship between Buzz and Woody is a big reason why I like this movie so much more than the sequels. I love every Toy Story movie, but they constantly separate Buzz and Woody for some reason. Buzz gets totally short-shrifted in all of the sequels. I've never even seen the Lightyear film because everyone says it's bad. Buzz Lightyear has been totally shafted for everything outside of this film, I think. He's funny. They've done a good job of making the character comedic.
He did get an animated show?
Yeah, but again, that's the same thing as the Lightyear movie. It's this like fictional, it's all fiction, obviously, but fiction within this fictional universe.
Cameron, I hate to tell you this, but Toy Story was not based on a true story.
I'm not saying anything new. Everyone loves Toy Story. But if it's been a while since you've seen it, if you haven't watched it as an adult, if you've never really appreciated it, maybe you even don't like it, take it off at least things we've taken into mind. Put yourself in the mind of a kid from the 90s. Also, if you don't know, if you didn't live in the 90s or you weren't not a kid in the 90s, toys in the 90s was a huge part of kid culture. And this movie also...
to return to the days of Star Wars merch. Boy,
so
too late.
The important, we all know toys are important to kids, but especially in this era, and also I am fortunate enough to have grown up with my dad involved in my life. A lot of kids don't. Their toys, especially if you're a kid. Again, I'm very lucky to have grown up with a lot of friends. If you're a kid who doesn't have a dad involved in your life, and you have trouble making friends, toys are so important to you. And it doesn't matter. No matter how good your life is, toys are such an important part of your life.
It's super important for kids to be able to actually be bored.
Yes.
And cultivate their imagination.
So true.
I just had this conversation with my mom that I'm like, I'm pretty anti-iPad. Athena does not have one. But
yeah, she has to take her notes down on a notepad while we're podcasting.
Yeah. But I think that's it's important for kids to be bored so they can figure out what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this modern day, well, there's another side of people who are like, sure, parenting is just throw them in front of a screen. It's fine. But it's so important for kids to be able to actually cultivate that creativity.
Yes.
Because it's necessary. You can't always have instant gratification of something or entertainment. And so it's important for kids to be able to be kids and play. That's it. That was it.
No, I think you're absolutely right. So not saying something much new, but it's an encouragement to revisit Toy Story if you haven't in a while. And also, once you get on the first one, it's kind of hard to not just keep watching them. Like almost every time I watch a Toy Story film, I feel the compulsion to watch the other ones because they're all okay. Gonna backdoor into this. Also, watch Toy Story 4. It got a lot of crap at the time.
I enjoyed it.
Toy Story 4 rules. It's actually...
Did we go see it together?
We did, yeah. I actually didn't really want to see it.
There's so many films that I'm like...
2019, baby. Solid year. I like it more than Toy Story 3.
Back when we had the movie passes together.
Yes.
We just watched everything all the time.
Yeah, so good.
Toy Story is the reason Balto didn't do very good. Because Balto came out a month after Toy Story, and it was a little...
Yeah, Toy Story just ran... It's so high grossing in that year, made a ton of money, killed everything. So that's what we got to say about 1995. It's been 30 years since all of these films.
You're old.
I'm getting there, man. It is always interesting to think about these things because all these movies feel like they've been around forever because I don't remember a time before these films. But it's interesting to think that these came out right as I was coming into the world. So these are the movies shaping the world, but also some of them are very much of a bygone era. A lot of these movies are so 90s. You don't see movies at all like these anymore. Even the worst ones oftentimes had a lot of filmmaking involved. I think CGI is not necessarily not filmmaking, but it can be used. It's very much a crutch. It's very much, and it's not just CGI, digital cameras, digital lighting. Just like there's so much that can be done in computers or with digital cameras now that films are very lazy. That's what I'm against. I'm not against any new technology. New technology can be done incredibly. It's when it's lazy. And also, it's not necessarily filmmakers' fault. People like Netflix demand that their movies and shows be shot in such a way that they're easy to see on a phone and they're easy to watch if you are on your phone, like it's on the TV and you're on your phone. That sucks. That's the worst. That's why I don't oftentimes consider Netflix original films movies a lot of the time. Sometimes they do make good stuff, but most of the time it's more like a TV film. All that to say, even these bad films like Batman Forever, Waterworld, Judge Dredd look amazing, especially by today's standards. They're silly, but also, you know what? They're colorful. That's the other thing is like people are so afraid of expression now. Like movies aren't allowed to be, they have to be Deadpool. They have to be ironic. They're not allowed to just be, say what you will about Batman Forever. It is a very stylized film and it's not good, but it's genuine. Like it allows Batman to be broody. He's not like being quippy. He is actually like sad that his parents are dead. And Batman is one of the very few characters that have been affected by the modern quippy writing. They've actually, the last one. I'm totally blanking on anyone. The Batman. Pattinson. Yeah. He's also very moody. So Batman is allowed to be that. Batman and Superman are the characters who oftentimes are able to avoid getting too dragged down by modern trends. Man of Steel did a little bit, but Cavill saves that movie to some extent. All I'm saying is I miss when movies were movies. And people are still doing it today, but it's not as frequent. Mm-hmm. And I wish, but movies are super expensive. They're still investing a ton of money. Put that money where it needs to be, is what I'm saying. And also, just be willing to be different.
And don't make it a tax write-off.
Yeah. Actually release the film and don't delete it off the internet forever for tax break purposes. So I've added Waterworld to my Nanar list. I also need to add The American President.
My top 1995 movie is Balto.
Nice.
That's it. That's pretty much it. This is my favorite.
Is there any close up there in
Toy Story? I feel like you know what I do. Athena had an opinion. Sorry. Music wise and animation style, I do like Pocahontas.
I think that's fair. I think it's also gorgeous to watch.
That era of Disney is a beautiful era in animation because you have. Well, actually, one of my favorite animators, Aaron Blaise, was heavily involved. I think he was the main lead animator for Pocahontas as the character, but he also did a lot of work in Lion King. He was one of the main guys there.
I see.
So biased. But that era is fun. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yep.
You had animation companies who were willing to take risks.
Yep.
And it paid off, literally and financially. I mean, not to go a couple years later, DreamWorks, making Prince of Egypt. Huge risk. Do you know how long it took them to render the Red Sea scene?
Can't really imagine.
Days. I have the art book. We can look at it after.
That sparks a thought in my head. You were talking about... Dang. Oh, no. So, okay, sorry. So, I talked, just quickly to wrap up, not a lot going on in Transformers. They're still releasing toys, but they are in 1995. They are developing Beast Wars, talking about CGI madness.
Oh yeah. I did finally get my Studio Series Transformers 1 Alita 1 figure, almost a full year after I pre-ordered it. It was supposed to come out in January 2025, and then they bumped it to November. So I got it at the beginning of this month.
And as far as Star Wars, not a ton. They did release Star Wars
Rebuild the Galaxy.
in 1995.
Oh, I thought you were talking about recent. I'm so sorry. I was like,
No, that will be our next episode, though. For real, though. That's not. I mean, obviously, next episode we're going to cover things we always need to cover, but we also got
and things we don't need to cover.
yes. 1995 Star Wars Dark Forces, the video game, which I've never actually played, but I've played.
I haven't either.
I think that's actually it's the original Kyle Katarn, who's a character would love to see in live action. Though they kind of, who's the Jedi Survivor main character?
Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis is kind of the new Kyle
Kyle
Katarn.
Katarn, Cal Kestis. It's practically the same name.
But he was he's a guy who becomes a Jedi. He's not like a Jedi when I start, but he was the original one who stole the Death Star plans in one of these video games.
Oh.
So Dark Forces, I've never played this one, but I've played sequels to it, and so it was first person like shooter Star Wars, which you don't get a ton of.
No.
You get a lot of third person stuff, but not a lot of first person stuff. As a Halo fan, huge first person shooter person myself. So the later, I especially love Star Wars Jedi Knight. I think that's it. Yeah, Star Wars Jedi Knight, which is Kyle Katarn, but he starts off as a Jedi. But you also have a gun, like you have a lightsaber and a gun. It's great. These games very famous for being able to like to actually dismember people with lightsabers. So
you can also do that in Jedi Survivor, and if you don't want to do that, you can turn the feature off.
I see.
I think it's next to the arachnophobia feature.
Oh, nice. Very good. That's all I have got for the year 1995. Thanks for letting me go off to good birthday gift just to get to talk about
Happy birthday, 95. Cameron.
But another gift, a gift from the internet to us and from us to you is Meme Minute. But is it longer than me talking about the year 1995?
No.
Hopefully not. Do I have any memes? Let's take a look.
One.
I also have one. Let me see if let me see real quick if I have any videos.
I'm so excited. I found this and I was crying thinking about it earlier.
Let's see.
I think you should show yours first because we have to end on this one.
Something insane is happening. This is a post by the official Transformers Instagram page. Let's go on this journey together. It is a picture of live action Dora. Hola, Dora. Help us find your parents in the lost city of Smurf. Scroll over.
Is it live action?
I don't know what this is.
Let me see it.
It's a CGI bear. I'm guessing this is from the.
Is there a new Winnie the Pooh movie coming out?
No, I'm guessing it is. From the movie If Imaginary Friends. Smurfs, they live forever, right there in your heart. The Ninja Turtles. Our dad's definitely not a giant Smurf. This is terrible. Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. It's time to show that we are more than meets the Smurf. So this is a bizarre cross-brand synergy between... all involved in this is the new Smurfs movie, which bombed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Paw Patrol, Dora, Imaginary Friends movie, which came out a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And Transformers 1. So that was mind-meltingly dumb. I'm sorry that I had to share that with you all. Anyways, memes. I'm looking to see if I have any saved memes. Let's take a look. No, I have just the one image. So go ahead and share what you've got.
No, I have to say I have to go last with the one image I have.
So this is obligatory visual meme to get Rachel.
Mine's also visual.
I think you're gonna love this.
Oh, I've seen that one.
So it is a drawing of. I almost said Tom Hanks. I have no idea. Hank Hill
from King of the Hill
as Luke from the end of Return of the Jedi, and he's just unmasked Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is
his father,
his dad, who's a little man who's I don't even know how you describe. If you've never seen King of the Hill,
he's a horrible man.
Yes, and just seeing his dad as maskless Darth Vader, and
he looks pissed about it too. I've seen King of the Hill. Cotton would be yelling at Hank for saving him.
It's so funny.
Are you ready, Cameron?
Yes.
I'm so excited for this.
So good. So it's the Pixar logo, and it's G1 Optimus Prime jumping. Except he's not jumping on the eye. Why is he jumping on the P and not the I?
I don't know.
So he's about to make it Ixar. Good stuff.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's good.
I think I was crying too hard laughing about it to even realize it was on the wrong letter.
Good. So Optimus Prime jumping on the Pixar logo, instead of the lamp.
It's also really funny because his frame is like between. It's a transform. He's like transforming.
Oh, so I see. He's like scrunched up. Yeah, that's good. No, I like it.
You know who's also weirdly scrunched up? Our editor.
Here's a thanks to things that are all younger than me. Thanks to Caleb Jacoby for our intro and outro music. Props to Rachel for liking Bolto. And
hell yeah.
Of course, thank you to Athena for taking notes over there and writing.
She's sitting at attention. Look at her. Thanks to Cameron for running our Facebook and for
the Facebook is I've given up on the Facebook.
Thanks for
Instagram
Cameron
only
for not for fixing our lost media.
Shout out to listener Caleb's wife Emma for going through and liking, I believe, every single thing that we.
It was so funny.
And you know, normally your iPhone will like group together similar notifications. It didn't group them, so I had all these individual notifications. So shout out to Caleb's wife. Give us something to read on the pod. Leave a review, please. Leave a review if you have not. I want to see what happens. I want to see if we just get a few reviews. I want to see 5 stars, please. I want to see what happens.
Subscribe.
Don't be like my friend wrote a book and asked people to go and leave reviews, and his grandma left a less than 5-star review.
Oh, no.
And he was like, "Grandma, please just take it down." Let us know what you think about 1995 in film. What do you hate? What do you love?
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, what movies did I miss that you like or dislike?
Listener who was alive at that time.
And if you were alive in 1995, what movies did you see in theaters, or did you like a lot at the time? It was a crazy year, 1995. You had bombs, you had hits. Not literally.
Yeah, literally.
Well, oh no.